Hello guys, Flashlight Enthusiast here. So today I would like to make another review, this time Sofirn IF25A. This is maybe not the brand new flashlight from Sofirn, but I figure out that it's still available, so why not making a review, because I really enjoyed using this flashlight. And it's quite unique on the market, you know. But first things first, let's show you the box, which is quite unique for Sofirn flashlight, I believe. I ordered this one directly from sofirnlight.com, which is their official online store, and I also ordered some other flashlights that I reviewed recently. So basically what I'm talking about is about the uniqueness of this box is that it's not actually the plain cardboard one that I got other flashlights in. So basically I believe Sofirn invested in some marketing here. So this beautiful picture of a man standing here on a field lighting up a tree or a bush, I don't know what's it. So actually you've got the QR code and the sofirnlight.com website address. Here's some engraving with Sofirn motto: quality, innovation, value. Oh, I like that. Here we've got some certificates, and of course what flashlight is and what tint, because actually you can get this flashlight in two tints, either 4000K, which is 95 CRI, and I got this one, and the other one is 6500K, which is cool white, a little bit lower CRI, which is about 70. Alright, so let's see what's in the box. Be careful with that. Actually, I'm a little bit clumsy with these boxes, I guess you probably noticed by far. So yeah, try to be careful with that if you don't want to tear it like I did. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. Alright, nothing here inside. Let's put it away. So what we've got here, obviously apart from the flashlight, is the little 21700 to 18650 adapter, which is 3D printed, I suppose, which is probably the cheapest way to get your adapter, but it's okay. It's not sharp in any shape or form, so it's pretty cheap, but it's a decent quality, so I like that. We've got a USB-C cable. Actually, as you can see, it's brand new. I didn't even open it because I'm using one of these for every charging that I do. So these are a little bit lighted cables that provide enough amperage for me, so I use them. And last but not least, we've got a lanyard and two spare O-rings. I cannot see spare USB port cover. I believe it's missing. It shouldn't be here, by the way, so they just didn't include it in the set that they provide with the flashlight, but that's okay. It's tightly, so I wouldn't suspect that it will be missing any soon. So the manual is pretty vast, I must say. We've got English, German, and on the other side we've got I suspect Chinese and Russian. Alright, so the manual is pretty detailed, and actually this whole section is explaining here the UI of Anduril, which is very nice. If you haven't seen my video explaining the details of the Anduril, you can click right here and see it later. But concerning the specification of the flashlight, it's only here. So yeah, I really suggest reading the manual for the first time you use the flashlight, which is very nice that Sofirn included such a detailed instructions. Alright, let's see what we've got here. We've got the Sofirn IF25A. Obviously you can also find the Sofirn IF25 without the A at the end, and this one without A at the end is the Sofirn. It uses the same body but different LEDs. They use the tint shifting mechanism, so you have two LEDs of cool white and two LEDs of warm white, and you can actually shift the tint using your side switch, so you can have, you know, the mix of all tints in one flashlight. But they also produce the Anduril version with 4 identical LEDs, so no tint shift here or tint mix, but it uses actually the same body, the same MCPCB, as you can see here right on the screen, but it doesn't use the Sofirn UI, but instead they use the beloved Anduril, so it's a very nice addition. So let's see, the quality of this flashlight is good. I mean, it's a $30 flashlight, so you wouldn't expect, you know, the highest quality here, because the cost of the flashlight does not simply provide the opportunities. But for a $30 flashlight, I must say that I'm impressed. I mean, this flashlight is solid. It is well built. I noticed some sharp edges here on the fins, and analyzation chips a little bit in some places. But apart from that, I mean, I have no reservations to this Sofirn flashlight. I know that the USB port cover is solid. I mean, it sits really tight, so I wouldn't suspect any waterproofness problems here. The O-rings were well lubed. The threads are square here. Yeah, they are nice and thick, well lubed. I mean, the spring is thick. The only reservations I have is that they could include the magnet here on the tail hub, because it's an EDC size flashlight, so basically it would be nice to have a magnet here, but no, I can live without that. The battery I use here is Samsung 40T for maximum current, but you can also use the higher capacity, but you won't get the full brightness from this flashlight. Even though it uses the FET+1 driver, you will probably need some higher amperage batteries to you know, to achieve the full potential of SST LEDs. I mean, at least 20 amps I believe it would be optimal. So we've got a brass ring here, or brass button, so you can use flat top batteries as you can see here without any problems. It would be nice to have a spring here, but probably the resistance of the brass ring is better for high current without any bypass of the spring. The driver is glued, so you cannot access here that easily, but on the other hand you can unscrew the bezel and take off you know, optics and MCPCB without any problems. I tried that to swap the Samsung LH351D for the SST, but in these optics actually it didn't work out very well, so I would definitely stick to SSTs. Maybe you can swap some niches, but these stock SSTs are not bad. I mean, they are a little bit green under these optics, and this is the drawback that I have to address, that it's a pity that Sofirn actually used their custom optics instead of the well-known Carclow, which probably would produce a better beam, but I didn't try, so I don't know, it's only my suspicion. When you load up the batteries, you will notice that the flashlight will blink, and when you turn it on for the first time, it will always turn on in the highest regulated mode, which is around 125 lumens. Bear in mind that Sofirn advertises this flashlight to be 3800 lumens, I believe, but this is obviously for the 6500K version, because as you've probably seen on the website, it uses two versions. One is 6500K, it's SST20, and the other one, which I have here, is for 4000K, 95 CRI SST20, and this one will be a little bit lower in brightness, I believe around 3000 lumens, which is still pretty decent for a flashlight this size. We've got the USB-C charging port, which is a main selling point for this flashlight, for me at least. As you can see, when I plug in a charger, it will show you the red LEDs that the flashlight is charging, and when it finishes charging, it will turn to green LEDs, so very straightforward charging indicator here. And actually you can use your flashlight while charging without any problems, so let's go through the UI real quick. It uses the Anduril UI, so I won't focus on every function, just the basics one, and if you'd like to see the detailed instruction, you can click right here for my Anduril instructions, how to operate the flashlight in the more advanced modes. But here just one click on, one click off. From on position you hold the button to increase brightness, hold again to decrease the brightness. As you can see, the moonlight level is very low. Obviously it does use PWM and the camera can detect it, but your eyes won't, so don't worry. Okay, so you will go to the ceiling and then double tap for turbo mode. It will heat up pretty fast because these SSTs are not the most efficient LEDs, but they actually have the nice tint and high CRI, so that's what I like. Thank you, Sofirn. It will probably step down depending obviously of your temperature surroundings, but probably around 30 seconds to 45 seconds of turbo you will achieve, obviously without any problems. And the flashlight uses temperature sensor, so that's very nice, and you can actually calibrate it in your Anduril settings. Yeah, so probably it won't turn green that soon. For Beamshots comparison, I actually chose an Octagon KR4, and guys, I am aware that these are two completely different flashlights, Octagon being a $60 flashlight and Sofirn is a $30 flashlight, but they use the same sets of LEDs, which is 4 SST20 in 4000K 90 CRI. Size-wise, they are also very similar. As you can see, although Sofirn uses 21700 cell, it is not much bigger than the Octagon that uses 18650 regular cell, right? As you can see, the optics are almost identical size. This is Carclo and this is Sofirn Custom. I don't know, I'm not really sure what optic is this. And as you can see, here I'm using the diffused optics, but for the Beamshots I actually swapped the original one, so it's more like spotted beam, so are actually pretty similar in beam profile. Alright guys, let's wait no further, let's check them out in the forest. Alright guys, here I am with Sofirn IF25A. Here's the default mode. Let's ramp it up. Here is the top of the ramp, and now the turbo. Not bad for a flashlight this size. Nice big hotspot and no spill. Not so bright spill, but it is. I can see something on the side, but definitely more of a hotspot. Reminds me of the MF01S from Astrolax. I can slowly feel the heat building up. Yeah, and the step down already occurs. There's a deer down there. I don't want to disturb him. Alright, let's restart again. Boom. There it is, our turbo output. Pretty impressive. IF25A versus Noctigun KR4, both SST20 4000K90 CRI. Noctigun, Sofirn, Noctigun, Sofirn, Noctigun, Sofirn, Noctigun. Sofirn has more diffused beam a little bit. Appears a little dimmer than Noctigun before the step down occurs. Alright guys, let's sum it up. I really enjoyed using this Sofirn flashlight, and although I have my Noctigun KR4 and some other quads, I really like the Sofirn. And why? Because it uses the 21700 form factor, which is, you know, higher capacity battery, more amperage. It uses my almost favorite SST20 in 4000K 95 CRI. If you like, you know, the high CRI beam and warmer tint, it is definitely a nice option to consider. It does have some USB-C charging capabilities, and although Sofirn advertises it as a 2 amps charging, I actually tested it with my, you know, homemade kit, and it showed me like 1.85 amps, so it's very close to the advertising output, which will actually charge your flashlight really fast. It's like under 3 hours and you've got your battery fully charged. The only thing I'm missing here, Sofirn, maybe two, is the first one is the pocket clip, because you didn't include it in the set, and the second one is definitely the magnetic tail cap. Maybe you could you know, offer the separate tail cap with the magnet, as you did with the Sofirn SC31 Pro, I believe. You offered, you know, the spare tail cap with the magnet for like $2, or even for free if you order it with the dedicated flashlight. So yeah, and that would be nice, definitely. So guys, I really enjoyed reviewing the Sofirn IF25A. I can definitely recommend this, guys. This flashlight definitely for EDC purposes, you know, lighting up so close-up areas. Definitely a nice size, and for this price point, it's definitely a win-win. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, click the like button, click the subscribe button. Don't forget to leave a comment if you have any, you know, questions for me concerning this flashlights or any other flashlights. Guys, just leave it in the comments below. And as always, thanks you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next one.